Welcome to day 58 of tapping every single day. My name is Dalton, and EFT tapping pretty much saved my life. And I've been using it to great effect recently to basically fit, at least for me, what seems like 5 years of progress into maybe the last 9 months. And continue with that line of thought. The script we're doing today is inspired by the amazing Joe Dispenza because I've been doing a lot of his meditations and re-listening to a bunch of his books, and I'm kind of inspired to write some scripts around what he teaches. And the script today is all about shaking yourself out of your habitual past. Your brain is an amazing pattern recognizing machine. At least it's amazing relative to the information it has to work with. And it likes to keep you in your comfort zone because it doesn't have to use so much power, so much energy to try to predict what's going to happen if more or less it already knows what's going to happen, because you're going through the same routines, you're on autopilot, you're thinking the same thoughts, and you're pretty much looking like sad Charlie Brown kicking the can down the road, and wondering why nothing is changing. And it's because, unfortunately, part of your subconscious mind doesn't want things to change. It knows that right here, right now, more or less, you're safe. Even though you might be psychologically uncomfortable, you might not be where you want to be, but your nervous system and your subconscious mind knows to a fair degree of certainty that you're upright and you're breathing and you're awake, which is pretty much all it wants to do. It's not concerned with making millions or being the top version of yourself. It's just concerned with, are we surviving, and are we not dying any quicker than we have to? So this script, like I said, inspired by Joe Dispenza, it's going to work on a very deep subconscious level of basically telling your subconscious that it's safe to allow this change and that we're actually excited for it, and it's actually maybe a good thing, because change, we know, is not a bad thing. It at least doesn't always have to be. Like, if you want to be healthier than you are now and you do become healthier, that's a very positive change, and that can happen at any part of your life. So as always, only tap on things that feel safe to you, that feel true and resonate. If it's not the case, just ignore that affirmation or repeat the last one. And if you could subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share these videos with whoever you think could benefit from it, I would really appreciate it. It helps me out. It helps the channel out, especially with the algorithm gods. If you comment, interact with the video. And it helps the people out that you share it with, who might not know what tapping is or what tapping can do for them. So thank you if you've already done that, and thank you if you're even considering doing it. And we'll start today, like every day, on the side of the hand, the karate chop point. So just repeat after me, either out loud or in your head. Even though I've been stuck in the story of my past, I deeply honor, love, and accept myself. Even though I've let old experiences shape who I think I am, I deeply honor, love, and accept myself. Even though part of me fears stepping into something new, I deeply honor, love, and accept myself. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Maybe shake out some of that tension that's in your body, because I know these first two rounds, the technology is designed this way where they do not necessarily feel the best. After a while, Like, I've gotten to a point where even though I'm saying these things that might be triggering to myself, I can already feel my body calming down because it knows what's coming. But these first two sections are just necessary to kind of basically steer the direction, or you steer your subconscious mind and show it the direction we're going to be heading with and the things we're going to be working on during this session. And it also kind of acts a little bit like exposure therapy, but that's a whole different video to talk about. So we'll move on to the second round here and actually tapping through the points. Starting at the top of the head, so just repeat after me. I've defined myself by what happened to me. I've stayed attached to pain because it felt familiar. I've assumed the past will keep repeating. I've told the same story of limitation over and over. I've feared who I'd be without my old identity. I've made decisions based on past fears and patterns. I've felt stuck in cycles that no longer serve me. And I now choose to release the past with love and truth. Maybe I'm not my past. I'm who I choose to become. Maybe I can feel safe letting go of old stories. I'm allowed to write a new narrative starting right now. I don't need to relive pain to honor my growth. capable of making new decisions today. I'm learning to think beyond who I've been. I trust that change is available in this moment. It's okay to become someone new while still honoring myself. I am no longer repeating the past, I am creating the future. I think, act, and feel from a new identity. I rise above my history and live into my possibility. I choose thoughts that align with who I'm becoming. I feel powerful in the present moment. I let go of old patterns and embody something greater. I am tuned to possibility, not limitation. I am building a new reality from the inside out. I now live as the future version of myself right here, right now. I think, feel, and move as the person I've chosen to become. I'm no longer defined by my past. I'm defined by my vision. I create my life from a place of power, presence, and clarity. I feel limitless, aligned, and fully in flow. I trust the energy within me to guide me forward. I am the embodiment of new possibility. This is me now, and I am limitless. I welcome this new reality with gratitude, grace, and excitement. Take another deep breath, and we'll start some self-havening for the final affirmation. Just repeat after me. I am no longer my past. I am the possibility I've chosen to become. I am no longer my past. I am the possibility I've chosen to become. I am no longer my past. I am the possibility I've chosen to become. you let it go and shake it out a little bit. And full transparency, I have a script for the tapping section of these videos, but every other part of this is just off the cuff. And it probably took me 8 tries to film the intro that you saw, because I like to let the camera keep rolling as often as possible. But after those 8 tries, I definitely was feeling a little agitated and a little bit in my own head, and skin crawling, that kind of thing. And I could feel, as we went through the script, that anxiety and those stress levels just melt out, through my feet. And even right now, my body just wants to yawn and kind of lay back and chill. So I hope you're feeling a little bit better. And I'm hoping, if you've been following along through this entire thing, that you're starting to notice these more and more of these changes. And, it'll be out in your physical reality, but what you won't realize until later, when it becomes a little bit more noticeable, is that these changes in your physical reality, it's like, not only is it reality kind of reacting to the vibe you're kind of putting out and like walking through the world with, but it's also just, we're working with your subconscious. So it takes a little while to change, but as it starts changing little things, because it's where everything starts, that when it finally reaches out to your words and actions and the things you actually do in physical reality, those changes are actually pretty big. So the changes that you're going to start seeing out in your reality are just coming from tiny tweaks to how you're thinking, and how your subconscious behind the curtain is starting to decide to run the show, or starting to decide to take you somewhere else, because we're giving this feedback of, hey, we're grateful for the life we have now, but we want to go a little bit different direction, and here's what we were thinking. And your subconscious mind just takes that, it's like, oh, awesome, cool. And just that fact would be an exceptional thing, but because you're doing this as a daily practice, it is just kind of like a example. You're showing your subconscious mind, like, oh, this person is actually serious. Like, they're serious about making this change. They're doing this thing for 20 minutes every single day. If they weren't doing that, then they probably wouldn't be serious. But since they are doing it, we're going to take this seriously, and we're going to start implementing these changes. So, like I said, I hope you're seeing some positive changes in your life, even if that is how it may be just on some days you're feeling a little bit happier than other days, or than you normally would. And that's a good thing. And those changes are only going to get bigger and bigger as you work your way through this year. So thanks for tapping with me today. I hope you feel better, and I will see you tomorrow.